here we are. Here we are. The objectives are being shown right now, so I'm going to be reading off the objectives to you guys. So the theme of this website is restaurants. So they're going to have to build a restaurant website. Okay, so objective number 1. They need to have a navigation bar with smooth scroll to each page section. That's objective number 1. Objective number 2, they need a viewport, a full viewport, background image, and a cycling word in the slogan. Objective number 3, section with a table of at least 10 items with a list of prices pulled from an array. That's and then we have objective number 4, which is section with contact details and a map with a pin to its location. And then we have our bonus objective, which is indicated in yellow. That is, they need to add a column in the product table with a 20% discount applied next to the original prices. So if you have any questions on the objectives, ask your moderators. They are going to be the ones to explain it if you have any questions. But they should be very straightforward, the way we've written the objectives. So, and then I'm going to read off the rules right before we play, just so everybody knows what the rules are. So, the rules are also posted for your convenience right under the chat. I mean, not under the chat, under the stream if you guys are watching on your desktop, on a desktop PC or a laptop. So libraries are allowed, just no copying snippets from them. So you can use jQuery. We're considering jQuery as a library in this game. You cannot use frameworks like Bootstrap. You're not allowed to use Bootstrap. So if you want to use that, you will get, if we notice you're using any kind of framework, you will be disqualified. Okay, the next rule, if you're playing the game, you cannot have the Twitch video open. There's no way for us to monitor that, so if you guys would just not cheat, that would be appreciated. Because we don't want blue or red to see the opposition's website. No copying and pasting code. However, copying and pasting code from another URL is okay. So, I mean, not from another URL, from a teammate. So if like you can't go to a website like CodePen and copy like a snippet of code and paste it into your thing. You didn't write that. What you could do, however, is if your HTML guy wrote like, you know, like a long class, for instance, or like, you know, picked a URL, and you need to copy that URL as CSS, then you're more than welcome to copy that from your teammate. You can copy teammates' codes, just not code from an outside source. No editing language other than the one you've been assigned. So if you are playing HTML position, you are not allowed to touch JavaScript or CSS. Same goes for any other position. After the 60-minute timer runs out, you will be locked out of your account. You cannot edit anymore. So whatever changes, you need to, well, you cannot make changes. So if you screw something up, you know, during that time, then, you know, it's going to be an unfortunate thing that your team's just going to have to take the hit for. Animations are to be performed using JavaScript only and not CSS. We're doing that to give JavaScript a bigger role. Inline styling is not allowed, so HTML cannot open up a style attribute and start coding CSS. That is not allowed. Alright guys, we are ready to play. I'm going to start the timer right now. The writing one, thanks for the follow. Alright guys, here we go. I'm going to do a countdown. Moderators, please count down with me as I count down to start the game. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're starting the game. The timer has started right now. Rocker Boot, thanks for the follow. To give JavaScript a bigger role. Yes, that is what I said. If you guys have any suggestions during the show, we are more than welcome. Well, no, you are more than welcome to let us know that on our subreddit or our GitHub and stuff like that. So we see blue team has already got their boilerplate set up. They got their their standard HTML tags, head tags, body tags, getting ready to type stuff in their content. Well, actually, he's already getting stuff in there, and he's using Emmet. So blue team has a huge head start already. Okay, now red team, however, the only code that's actually really been being typed right now is CSS. So Noob 2 Ninjas just needs to catch up on the boilerplate, which it's really not that time consuming. What they're probably doing is just communicating and strategizing on how they're going to tackle these objectives. Each objective is worth 1 point. So for each objective they complete, they earn a point. However, the bonus objective is worth 2 points. And the only way to earn the bonus objective is if you complete all 4 objectives. So you cannot complete only one objective and not thinking one. Thanks for the follow. You cannot only complete, for example, objective 1 and complete the bonus objective. You'd have to complete all 4 in order to earn the points for the bonus objective. I'm gonna skip the song. Man, my voice is running out. I didn't realize that being off for so long, how much I've been talking. That's funny. Okay, so on blue team we have a JavaScript array being built right now, which is pretty cool. Okay, on red team it looks like Noob 2 Ninjas is working on that HTML now. On CSS, on the blue team, we have more style declarations being added. We are going to have preprocessors such as Sass and stuff like that in the future. Probably we're gonna aim for next week. We're gonna have those preprocessors available for you guys to use. I'm gonna skip this song as well. Yeah, can we get 100 viewers? Can we get 100 viewers right now? Guys, keep an eye on the chat. You are gonna be able to bet your dev bits here shortly. I hope you guys are enjoying the new overlay for the show. 99 viewers, wow. I just noticed that this is a bit cut off there. It's not horrible, but it is something I'll fix for next DevWars. Okay, so it looks like blue team has already got their nav bar. Let's take a look at their website. Okay, so on their website, check it out. We have this nav bar right here, and when you hover over it, this is the effect right now. They're working on it right now, so. And Don, can you update the Firebase just for the names for blue team? Blue team's not showing up on the top. Timer restarted. Luckily we coded a thing for making sure the timer doesn't, being able to control the timer. So we have a function to change that. So I'm sure Don will get to that. Now, what we did for the last DevWars was we had it so that the timer was a video, and so like this was our problem, was anytime we had something change, you know, the whole timer would get reset. But luckily this time it's coded around. But that is a bit unfortunate though. We might have to not switch scenes for the sake of the timer, which is fine. No, actually that really sucks. So Don, or if one of my moderators could get a hold of Don, not sure if he hears me or not, let him know that the timer needs to be readjusted. You guys can see the website for yourself in your own browser. All you have to do is type watch red or watch blue in the chat, and that will give you that will output a URL to you know, look at the website. How do you bet? Just keep an eye on the chat, and the bot's gonna ask you how many it's gonna give you instructions, so don't worry, just keep an eye on the chat. It's not time yet for the votes to start. What we might have to do, guys. Alright, so what we're gonna have to do is, because the timer is it bugged out when I switched scenes. So what we'll do is we'll just not showcase their website, I guess, on the stream, like, unless my moderators can figure out another way. But like, unfortunately, the only way you guys can see the website is if you go to the link that's in the chat. All you have to do is type watch red or watch blue in the chat, and you guys would be able to see the website for yourself in your own browser. It's very unfortunate, but that's what we're gonna have to do. Like I said, unless our moderators can figure out a way to keep the timer to stick on other scenes, and just remove the timer. I don't know about that. Yeah, Red's website is blank, and I know why, but I cannot intervene because they can hear me. But if you know anything about, if you're paying attention to this code right here on HTML, you should know why it's not loading up. Also, Red Team does need to import their style sheets and activate their other teammates, because, you know, their other teammates' codes are not able to be shown on the website until they are, you know, being added. Gotta skip the song. So either Dawn is away, or we're just gonna have to allot them extra time. That's just how it'll be, I guess. We do have a command though. I think we're about 6 minutes into the game before the timer restarted. If someone was paying attention to the timer, let me know if it was 6 minutes in, because when Dawn gets back, we could technically adjust the time so it's correct, but I think we'll be okay allotting them extra 6 minutes for this game. It was 10 minutes in. You guys aren't going to be able to type certain commands that are only available for admins, such as anything that has to do with the timer. Sorry guys, we just have to deal with some of the hiccups that we kind of anticipated for. I mean, we're crossing our fingers hoping that, you know, it wasn't going to happen. But, you know, accidents do happen, and we wouldn't have known this if we never went live. So we did our best. And so next week, we're going to have a flawless system now that we know what's going on. The stream has ran very smoothly so far, so pretty happy about that. A lot of CSS on the blue team. It looks like we are using the VW units, which is pretty cool. A lot of you guys are trying to vote right now. Cool, so red team has added, well, if you refresh their website, you can see their, you can see some content now is being added. We still need to have the CSS and the JavaScript loaded on the HTML DOM for the red team. You can see we don't have that yet in the HTML code itself. Alright guys, I'm just going to open the, oh, bets are open. Check it out. You have 10 minutes to bet. So now you guys can, it says bet limit, but that means like you have to have a minimum. Like that's the minimum on how much you have to bet. You cannot like bet like one dev bit, for instance. Keep an eye on the chat. The moderator is going to explain how to bet. Alright, so for those of you guys who are just now showing up, we are having a bit of a hiccup, so I can't switch scenes to show you guys, you know, what their website looks like on the stream. But what you could do is look at the website for yourself in your own browser. Just type watch red or watch blue, that command in the chat. And that way you guys can see the website in your own browser. Other than that, we're just going to have to look at the code for today. So we have like specifications on the blue team. I like that. A lot of people are scared of specificity. Like there's a lot of people who would just add a class to every single HTML element, you know, and just target it by class. But you know, if you know what you're doing, then you can actually nest and specify, you know, and it'll work out amazingly, especially if you're using SAS or any preprocessor. It can actually, in my opinion, look cleaner than having a bunch of classes. And you know, on a small project like this is going to be a one-page website. You can imagine, you know, how much simpler nesting can be. You don't run into the problems that you would experience in larger projects if you don't know what you're doing when you're nesting so very much. Fog the Catman, thank you for hosting us. We still haven't imported the style sheets and JavaScript on the red team. I hope they notice. We are getting images. If you look at the red team's website, we are getting images on the site. Also over here, nope, I'm looking at JavaScript on the blue team right now. He just cut that code out. I think he's gonna paste it in his for loop maybe. Oh no, he put it up there. Okay, we'll see how that goes. JavaScript is working on the objectives. Hopefully they're working on their objectives. Objectives are worth points. Objectives will determine the winners. Yeah, I can switch views, but the timer will restart. But I don't know if that's what we want. I'd rather not switch views than have the timer restart, because that's very vital to the show. So, still no HTML tags on the red team. I think that's pretty funny how it works. YOLO swag, right? YOLO swag. So, not too much longer before bets are closed. So if you haven't got your, your bets in yet, get them in. You can see people are just betting away right now in the chat, which is awesome. So don't miss out on our first bet system. I could use the timer on my phone. What do you guys think? Would you guys rather me keep track of the timer? And, okay, would you guys rather not see the timer or not see the website? Because that's the trade-off here. And I'm thinking in my head that you guys would much rather see the timer than the website. Because, you know, you could see how much time's left on the clock. Okay, it looks like on the red team now, you can see right now Noobs 2 Ninjas is actually importing that style sheet now, which is pretty cool. Click that link to see blue website. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna make that trade-off, guys. I know you guys want to play, want to see the website, and I really want to show you guys as well. But the problem is, I think that's the trade-off that I'm gonna make. That's the decision I'm gonna make. That you guys can just look at the website for yourself, you know, in your own browser. I know, I apologize for those of you guys who are watching, you know, on your mobile device or something like that, but next week, we're going to have the timer working on every screen, and, you know, 2 minutes left to vote. Get your votes in. Plus, we want to encourage you guys to use our commands anyways. Oh, we have some keyframing going on over here. We got... Let's see what HTML is working on. One minute left to vote. Oh, Pavlin. That's actually a really good point. Terrence, or any of my mods. Pavlin pointed out that he has full access to our C9, which can be a big problem if we don't address that. So make sure that I would look into it and make sure that, you know, no one else has write permissions other than the people who are playing in the game. You know, I think that's what Pavlin was pointing out there. I have no way of knowing on my end, so betting is close, so stay tuned to see the results on who wins or who doesn't, and you will be rewarded your dev bits based on the, you know, how many dev bits were actually accumulated in this pot. It's kind of like the lottery. It's kind of like the lottery. Steven, will you ever play DevWars? I have once, and I got wrecked. Maybe one day I'll redeem myself. It was a bit hard to host and play at the same time. Maybe in the future when, you know, we have another host, which we're thinking about getting Bo, which is another one of our DevWars staff members. We're gonna try to get him to host as well, and then maybe I'll play when someone else is hosting. So that should be fun. Yeah, please look at the websites for yourself on your own browser. The links are getting posted in the chat. So on the Red Team's website, currently all that they have right now is just like, you know, images that are stretched out full width, which is good. It looks like they're they're aiming for that second objective, which is to have a hero with a full screen background image cycling a word in the slogan. I think what they're gonna do is, I think they might try to aim for either a carousel, or which is not required at all. I think that would be extra work, but it would help them with their, you know, when it comes down to the user votes, you know, based on how you guys like that. So, it's always good to, you know, do more than is expected. I don't see any variables for like an array on the JavaScript, which sucks. I think they'll add it later, but they can only add one. They can only work on so many at once. You know, 60 minutes is not really enough time, and you know, we're actually allotting them close to about 10 minutes. You know, since the timer got restarted, which I think is totally okay. I think that kind of makes up for the whole not being able to switch. It's like a Christmas present. Yeah, it's a shame it's only one game, but you know, it's for the best. It's definitely for the best. So next week we'll have 2 games. We're gonna aim for 2 games, and also I'm gonna switch the song. And we're also gonna have you know, the whole timer thing working, so we can switch scenes and stuff. It'll be really cool. So on the blue team, the HTML, you guys can see they have this variable called items, and what that is, it's for objective number 3. It's the section with a table of at least 10 items with a list of prices pulled from an array. So they're gonna have to take that array and output that in the HTML. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. And then for the bonus objective, what they're gonna have to do is add a column to the right of it with a 20% discounted price showcased just to the right of the original price. And they can only get that objective, the bonus objective, if they complete all 4. So if I were them, I wouldn't even try to work on the bonus objective until you know for a fact you can complete the rest, because you know, if you put time into completing the bonus objective and you don't end up completing all the rest of the objectives, then you technically wasted your time, because you're never going to be, even though you completed the bonus objective, you won't be allotted any points due to the simple fact that, you know, they didn't meet the requirements or the prereqs. I really wish I can show you guys the website, but if you guys are looking at the, if you guys are following along with me on your own browser, then you guys would know what I'm saying. So for the navigation, it looks very nice. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, that pink color on the hover is the exact color of our DevWars pink. If I am not mistaken. That's what it looks like to me. So that's pretty cool. And it looks like, if we look at the code, they went with the unordered list. So over here, you can see that for the navigation, they used an unordered list with list item, which is a standard way of doing, you know, your navigation bars. And they just simply took the list item in the CSS, made it display inline block. Wow, we just received a donation from Splendor78. Thank you for that $11 donation. You're the best. All donations go to fund DevWars. We use that money to, pay for our hosting for the website, pay for, just stuff to run like C9. We're using that to have a bigger environment space so that C9 doesn't like freeze and stuff like that, which we have had in the past. But due to all your support, we have been able to keep the show running. So thank you, man. Donation hype. Okay, so if I want to remind you guys, for those of you who are worried about your bets, the bot that's sitting in here, the DevWars bot, is actually logging everything that's going on in the chat. So if under the rare circumstance that the bot crashes, well, I think what my moderator's telling me is that the bot did crash because of E3 is going on right now. So Twitch has disabled like a lot of features, to make the whole E3 experience better. So we're just gonna have to take the hit for that. But our bot is recording everything that's going on in the chat, so we're gonna be able to go back and compensate you guys for whatever bits you earned. So don't worry about that. We'll take care of it. Turgon is actually doing a fantastic job for being a bit wary at first to play JavaScript. Just looking at his code, I think he's doing an awesome job, keeping up in the game. So huge props to him for playing and stuff like that. Okay, so if we refresh the site, we can see that the array is being loaded on the blue team. So on the blue team, it looks like they have the objective 3 already pretty much worked out. All they need to do is style it, because if you notice, it's not styled at all. Let's see how they're doing that. So over here on the menu, it looks like they're using a section tag with the ID of menu as well as the class of menu. So we're going to look out for that in the SCSS, not SCSS, but the CSS. We don't see a target selector for that in the blue team yet, as you guys can see. I'm not sure what he's working on at this moment. We do see his cursor over here. Oh, now it's elsewhere. Okay, we see it over here now on the hero. So right now they're just adding the hero image, and they are allowed to post URLs. That's completely fine. That's not against the rules to input URLs, because that'd be ridiculous if you had to type in a URL. That would be pretty ridiculous. But I think it's pretty cool how he's using the VW and VH units. What else? What else can we point out here? On the red team, if you go to the red team's website, all they have is images right now. Really, it just spanned out, and they have 35 minutes left on the clock. So hopefully they can pull stuff together within that time. During DevWars, HTML doesn't have very much to do. So other than get their content in there, because CSS and JavaScript cannot really progress without their HTML, in there. So in a sense, JavaScript and CSS can only go as far as HTML will let them, if that makes sense. So imagine HTML as like the funnel. So it doesn't matter how much JavaScript and CSS you have, if you don't have enough elements to support, what content they're trying to write, then it wouldn't work out. So HTML kind of sets the headroom for the game. But there is a certain point where HTML runs out of stuff to do, which is why HTML generally takes on the leadership role. So if you guys want to play in future games and you want to play in HTML, it'd be good if you were very project management oriented. So, meaning you're able to encourage your team, you're able to take your downtime, review the website, find any bugs that are wrong, remind your team, on how to tackle objectives, because that should be your goal, is as a team complete all the objectives, you know, to win. I'm gonna encourage our HTML guys to, you know, on your downtime, make sure you're helping out your teammates. So right now on the JavaScript for the red team, you can see you can see Turgon just editing this upper section right here, editing some of these variables. It looks like he's playing with the widths. I think what he's working on is a carousel, is what it looks like. That's the only thing that would make sense. Because they do have to have rotating slogan. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a carousel, but that is another way to tackle the slogan rotation. You can have just simply a slogan rotating on each slide. That'll work out. But really, all that objective requires you to do is have a... You can have the same hero image, but just have, you know, a slogan text change on that image. But I think if red team's able to pull off this carousel, you know, in 32 minutes and get the other objectives completed, I think that'll really show in the voting section. Yeah, the hero section in the website is generally the section that's supposed to capture their attention. It's generally on the top as well, so like right below the navigation. And that's also generally where you would have the call to action button on the hero. So that's what that is. Great question. Is there a C9 link to the code? I believe it's watch code. I could be wrong. Yeah, nothing outputted when I did that. Yeah, there's no link currently for watch code. We'll get that up. Thanks for the reminder. Okay. Right now, Cydos on the blue team, the CSS, he's working on... It looks like the hero. Let's refresh the blue team's website. Yeah, they're working on the hero. Currently, the image, if you go there, it's like super blown up. Actually, no, they have it to where they have to be using. They have it to where it's 100% of your screen width. So, yeah, that's that 100 VH. So view height. They have it so that the image is always just 100% of your view height, which is cool. That's it's called like above the fold. That fold is where is referred to as like where you don't see until you start scrolling down. So all they have to do is add content inside, and that's what it looks like he's doing right now. You can see they have a class right here in the HTML called, I'm going to highlight it for you guys. It's called slogan. That's the class. And you can see he's playing with that right now. He's using position absolute to do this. There's different ways you can do that. I mean, you can even you don't even have to use position absolute. You can just use like you know, you could just do like text align center, for instance, and that'll work. It's pretty cool how there's different ways to approach it. I'm going to be like reviewing their code, and I'm just going to let you guys know what they could have done, you know, if one way's better than another. I think personally I would stay away from position absolute when you can, because, you know, just considering the responsiveness of a website, position absolute generally is not a good option unless you know for a fact that it's absolutely, you know, needs to be placed in that position. But since you're going to have a website that stretches, you know, based on resolution and stuff like that, you know, if you could avoid it, then by all means, that's the way to go. General rule of thumb. If you go to the red team website right now, it looks like their carousel is working. I just refreshed the site and I saw the image switch. Oh, nope. I spoke too soon. The images are currently stacked on top of each other, which is good. I think right now I'm noticing here in the JavaScript, Turgon is working on a delay, so it looks like we're gonna see here shortly the carousel working. But currently the images are stacked on top of each other, so in preparation for the whole slide effect. So that's cool. If you go to the blue team's website right now, the hero did disappear. So, you know, I wonder what happened there. It might be because he was editing. Yeah, it's back now. He was just editing the height and stuff. So, yeah, they're coding in real time. So when I refresh, you know, it'll appear on this. It'll appear wherever they were at. So don't forget, you guys can pop into our TeamSpeak and you know, listen to a blue or red. Yeah, so we're not going to reset the time. Well, no, we're not going to adjust the time. We're actually going to keep it this way because, for one, we can't get the exact time. Plus, red team looks like they need it. You know, they just, it was a rough start. Plus, you know, it kind of makes up for the technical difficulties. It's the least we could do by allotting them more time. So no worries there. We're just going to, whatever time you see right there, 27 minutes is what we have left on the clock. We're more than halfway into the game. So hopefully your bets that you've placed earlier is looking the same here. Okay. So over here on the CSS, we have position absolute, and then we have margin 0 auto, and then we have left 0 and right 0, and then we have text align center. Well, I know that you can do the same thing without position absolute. So there are some code there that's not needed. Let's see how the CSS on red team is holding it down. I see a float here. They have the Twitch stats on the. They have Twitch stats, which is interesting because I don't recall a objective that requires you to pull the Twitch stats. I'm actually, they need to know, can my moderators let them know that the theme is a restaurant? I don't think they know. Yeah, because they're using cars and they're using Twitch stats. Whereas blue team is, you know, making sure that they are following, you know, the theme of the website. I mean, the theme of the game, which is restaurants. And if you go to their website, they have a slogan saying, "We make food, we make good food," and you know they have a navigation bar that advertises their menu, their locations, and stuff like that, as well as their food items. So hopefully, red team knows this. So moderators, please just give red team a friendly reminder that the theme of the game is restaurants, and also make sure that they are aware of the objectives for the game. No, there are no more games after this. We're only having one game for today. However, next week, so next Saturday, we're going to have 2 games. That's what we're planning. We're also planning to fix the technical difficulties we're having today, which is, if you guys came earlier on the stream, you would know that when I tried switching scenes to show you guys the websites, you know, the timer got reset, which really sucks. So technically treat the stream as like a beta stream, like Don was saying, you know. even though it's technically an official stream. Just treat it as a beta. You know, accidents happen. We have an open selector for menu over here on the blue team CSS, which is this guy right here, and that's where all the JavaScript's being loaded, you know, from an array. The Dawn is actually our moderator, is reminding the red team right now what the objectives are. Puper, thanks for the follow. Okay, so if you go to the red team's website right now, I believe the carousel is working. Let me go ahead and refresh the site and see if this is true or not. So there is a delay. Let me just got to give it some time. Yes, it is working. So red team has a working carousel, which is very cool because if you guys have watched past DevWars, you would know that the carousel was actually something that took a lot of time to make when we actually had a carousel as one of the objectives. So, and huge props to Turgon for making that carousel happen. All they have to do, I mean, a carousel is not really an objective. However, a rotating slogan is, so they can still tie that in with the second objective by simply just adding text to each slide, and that'll count as a slogan, and that'll also count towards the second objective, and they'll get the point for that. But Syntag, what if 90% betted on red and blue is the clear winner, but 90% of the bettors just voted for red and then become the winner? I don't think that'll happen. But if it does, then you guys are all trolls. Okay, so on the blue team, it looks like they're going with a very serious tone, which is cool. I like when our players on DevWars treat their website like a real website. So blue team named their website Ramen Central, so that's the name of the restaurant, and they're just sticking with the theme. They're all around. They have like a location, they have an address, they have menu items. Their menu items reflect what they're advertising on their hero. Very cool. What they have to do here is they need a slogan, which right here they have. It looks like they have prepared over here. If you see this variable, it looks like he's actually working on that right now. This is an array of strings, and that's going to be for the slogan. What they're going to have here is you see where it says we make good food in their HTML right here on the blue team. They're going to have that word good rotate with these sick buzzwords variable right here. So every word that you see in this array will be rotated. That is the goal, and that's actually the second objective, and that's how blue team is going to tackle their objective. However, like I was saying with the red team, they didn't approach it that way, but they can still earn the objective by simply adding a text to each slide. Still no styles for that menu just yet. As you can see on the blue team, you see this menu selector just open red, just waiting for styles to be added to it. If you look on the blue team's website, which by the way, I encourage you guys to follow along with me since I'm not able to show the website on the screen. It is a bit of an unfortunate, but you can still follow along with me. Type watch red or watch blue. The links have already been posted in the chat. Just scroll up a little bit and you can see it. But if you're on your desktop, you can see the website. And if you scroll down on the menu, you can see the menu items aren't styled in any way. But I'm sure blue team will get to it. Let's see what red team is working on right now. If you refresh the red team's website, it looks like their carousel broke, so the images are no longer stacked on top of each other, which just tells me that they're moving stuff around and stuff like that. That's the only thing I could imagine because it was working earlier, so I don't think it's anything to do with their code, a lack of code per se. I think they're just moving stuff around. So as far as HTML, I don't see anything going on. There's probably a lot going on in the chat, you know, working out how they're gonna approach the rest of the game, because if you guys look at the clock, we only have close to 19 minutes left, you know, in the game. So 19 minutes is not a lot of time at all. I mean, they're probably shocked that 40 minutes has already gone by, you know. And if you refresh the Blue Team's website, I had confirmation that their cycling of their slogan is working, which is super cool. So that's an objective completed by the Blue Team. We're going to be going over each objective that's complete after the game is over. I'm going to be reviewing each website one at a time, and then we're going to you know, tally up their points. And then after that, we're going to be opening up the voting poll, where you guys are going to be able to vote on which team has better design and which team has better functionality and such. So stick around for that. Props to Blue Team for doing that. Let's see what okay, I do see some action right now on the Red Team. Noobs2Ninjas, who's handling HTML, is currently adding the slogans to the DOM, so that's good. He just currently has slogan 1, slogan 2, slogan 3, so they're totally preparing that. So let me refresh the Red Team website. Okay, cool, they got their carousel working again. It is you know, the images are stacked and they're rotating as they were earlier. Just not too long ago they were broken. So they have their HTML for the slogan. I'm going to go into the website. I wish you guys can see what I'm seeing. So their slogan is there, and let me see if it's rotating. It doesn't look like the slogan text is rotating. Oh, it is. So the slogan text is rotating as the carousel rotates, so that is good. All they have to do is style that. So you see this slogan class. We need to find that in their CSS. There's not very much CSS in the actual Red Team's code, which is a bummer. Hopefully they get to it. So what Red Team has to do right now is so since Noobs2Ninjas added the slogan class, what he's going to have to do in the Red Team, he's going to have to add a slogan class. Oh, he's doing that right now as we speak. He's adding that slogan class, targeting it, and what he has to do is make sure that slogan goes on top of the image. You know, because currently, if you look at the website, the slogan is right above the image, and that's because the image itself, the carousel, is a display block. So the best way to handle this is to actually make the you know, paragraph either position absolute, so that it, you know, frees itself from the flow of the website. I mean, that's one way to take care of it. There's just many ways to do it. Oh man, I just realized, yeah, my moderator pointed out that the title of the stream is like delayed. That's one thing that slipped my mind. If you guys are enjoying DevWars right now, let us know in the chat. Type hashtag hashtag we love DevWars in the chat, and you know, that'll just show your appreciation for the show. We do apologize for the small hiccups we're experiencing during the show, but I think you know, just come next week. So next Saturday we're going to be streaming at the same time. Hopefully we're going to be having, hopefully we have 2 games, you know, by next week. And that'll all depend on how many, you know, applications we get. So it all depends on you guys if we're going to do 1 game or 2 games next week. Look at the love right now being shown in the chat. Okay, so if we refresh the Blue Team's website, They still haven't styled their actual menus, but it looks like everything else is pretty much styled. Their site is coming along for sure. Let's refresh the red team. Okay, so if you go to the red team's website, what we notice here is that the carousel is now 100% of the screen width. However, there is like a margin, a pretty big margin to the left of the carousel, so it pushes all of the images to the right. Let's see what's going on there in the code to see why it's doing that. Okay, it could have to do with... Okay, no, it's changing right now as we speak. So... while red team's working on that, let's see what the blue team's working on, because they haven't got to the menu yet. Actually, I lied. They're working on that right now. I see styles that weren't there before. We have width declared here. We have margin. Yeah, the slogan on the blue team isn't working at the moment. However, I'm sure it's just because they're like editing as we speak, you know. So code can break and fix itself and break again as the show is progressing, because everything that they're doing is real time. So, you know, you might refresh and catch the website when it's like, you know, without a semicolon in the proper spot. So. All right, 12 minutes left on the clock. You know, the game is almost over. It's almost over. If moderators can just pop into the chat and remind both blue and red team that, you know, there's 12 minutes left on the clock. The reason why we want to remind them is so that they're mindful of the clock, because during these last 10 minutes, it can whiz by very quickly. So if they're working on completing a big objective, so if they have like a big, you know, their next milestone is like a big feature they're trying to add, and they're just now getting started on it, that's a bad idea. Not that they can't do it, but it's risky, because if they're working on something, then you know, the timer runs out. The moment the timer runs out, we're gonna lock the document. So whatever they have on their website is what they're gonna have. So if they forget a semicolon or, you know, something during that time, it would they're gonna take the hit, even though like we've seen the objectives completed at, you know, one point on their website. It doesn't matter in the end if it's not, you know, there. So yeah, if you want to see the live versions, type watch red or watch blue, that command in the chat. So, you know, even though blue looks like they're ahead, an incident like that could happen where, you know, when the timer runs out, blue team's website is destroyed because of, like, you know, a tag that they forgot to close. And then that might actually help out red team. I mean, it sucks if that were to happen, but, you know, it's something that they should consider. So that's why we want them to be wary of the time. Now, if you look at the blue team's website right now, they are styling it. They're using inline flex. I didn't know that was a property. I'm actually finding that out right now. I don't know. I've never seen that before. So that's interesting. Let's refresh the red team's website and see what's going on there. Syntag, are you sick? Is it because of my voice, or is it, do I look sick? Because if it's my voice, then I'm like destroying my voice right now. I haven't, you know, it's a lot of talking, and I've been offline for about 5 months, and, you know, my voice isn't used to this yet. So I have to kind of retrain my voice to get back into the zone. Okay, so a lot of time and energy is being put into this carousel on the red team. it looks like they're having some style issues. I see the HTML content, it's there and it's working. However, you know, CSS is suffering from getting these styles to load. I mean, if we look at the code, you know, we have double the amount of CSS on the blue team as opposed to the red team. So, you know, they're going to take the hit there. Alright, I am getting word from my moderator that because of Twitch, you know, today it was a bit of an inconvenience with the whole timing of DevWars launch. Twitch, you know, if you guys don't already know, E3 is going on right now, so there's a lot of, there's some critical features that were like that are kind of being suffered right now. So our bot actually needed those features in order to get the bets working properly. So today we're not going to be showcasing the bet scores and everything on how much dev bits you earn. However, you know, like I mentioned earlier today, we are keeping log of everything that's being loaded in the chat or being, you know, written in the chat. So we're going to be able to compensate you guys for the bits that you've earned. So don't worry about losing dev bits or earning dev bits. You're going to get it. You're going to get it either way. So if you guys are paying attention to the red team's website, every time you refresh, it is changing. Like I just refreshed and the website, you know, the carousel broke. And I just refreshed again now and it fixed itself. The image currently is like stretched beyond the page of the website. And that's because they don't have, you know, there's just too much going on. I wish I could show you guys what their website looks like on the screen. But that's for next week. Don't worry about it. Just, we'll get through it together, you know. It's, I normally, when I stream DevWars, you know, you guys are used to following me along on what I see. And, you know, it's easier for me to explain, you know, what they could do and stuff. Wow, if you look on the blue team's website right now, you can see that they've actually added their bonus objective in there, and it looks beautiful the way they've done it. They've crossed out all their menu prices and just applied that 20% discount to the right of it, and I think that's an interesting touch. Let's see what red team's working on. Oh, check it out. So red team, in the HTML, we see a table for the menus. So that's there. Let's see if in the JavaScript they even have like the variables. I don't see any variables to suggest that they're gonna create an array to complete the objective for objective number 3. Yeah, I don't see it. So there's 5 minutes left on the clock. Moderators, please remind both blue and red that, you know, 5 minutes left. Not very much time. My voice is gone. I'm not going to be able to talk anymore. Holy crap. Holy crap. Well, we do have some veterans who are playing. There are some veterans who are playing, but there is also more newcomers playing in DevWars today. However, I'm going to skip this song. It's a bit too much. Okay. However, you know, DevWars is pretty intense. I mean, I know for a fact that some of these people who are playing are very good at what they do, you know, in real life scenarios. However, in DevWars, it's very different. I mean, for example, Noobs 2 Ninjas, who's handling HTML, he cannot intervene. I mean, he probably wants to right now just hop on the CSS document and start adding stuff. The only thing he can do is verbally coach them and tell them, hey man, you need to add a selector here and you need to give it these styles. That's the only thing that you can really do, because he can't go in there and type stuff. So he's only in control of HTML. But I do see, you know, CSS right now editing stuff in, you know, on the red team. So like right now, we just saw him add a background color of black right here, as indicated by 000. And then we see right now, Noobs 2 Ninjas is adding those table rows for those menu items, but it looks like they're doing it static. Oh, check it out. We have a variable array for the menu items, so maybe they're going to be able to pull something off. I don't know. I mean, 3 minutes is not enough time. I'm really going to doubt that they're going to be able to do that, because that's a pretty big feature, you know. That's a pretty big feature to code in just 3 minutes. But I do appreciate their effort in doing what they can with this time. I mean, they can only move forward from here, really. So 3 minutes left on the clock. Perhaps DevWars can explain again what dev bits are for. Yes, so Megalas, well, someone asked what dev bits are for. So currently, if you go to the website, there's not really a way to spend dev bits yet, but we do have a store where you guys are going to be able to purchase things with your dev bits. You're going to be able to, you know, buy avatar changes. You're going to be able to customize your profile. You're going to be able to influence the stream, the game. You guys are going to be able to influence it. Also, we're going to open up a community forums, and you guys are going to be able to do all kinds of things with it. I can talk all about it, you know, after the game. If you guys have any suggestions that you think would be awesome to add during the for DevWars, let us know in our GitHub, or let us know on our you know, website, devwars.tv, or let us know on even our subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/devwars. So yeah, let us know. We pay attention to your stuff. Okay, if we refresh the website on the red team, they have like their items in there, and it looks like red team has all of the content in place, ready for the variable array on the JavaScript to be used. But you know, I think it's interesting, red team's process on getting that in there, because if you look on the blue team's code, they don't even have HTML content inside of their section. They're doing that all through they're adding that straight through JavaScript. They just have a container where they're populating that inside of. However, you know, blue team does that. Red team is, you know, they're doing it kind of differently, and they only have a minute to pull this off. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do this or not. And also another thing, I don't know if CSS, if Jack's handling CSS on the red team is even looking at the website, because, you know, something that stands out to me that's pretty simple is, if you notice, the background is black, but all the text is black as well. So, you know, it makes the text look invisible. So, I mean, it would only take like half a millisecond to add a property, you know, to set the color of all the text on the body to be white. Okay, and he actually changed that. So 20 seconds on the clock. 20 seconds. Moderators, get ready to shut down the documents. We have 15 seconds left on the clock. The game is almost over. We have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The website, the game is over, guys. You guys been watching them for code for a little bit more than an hour. I mean, the game is supposed to go on for an hour, but we gave them a little bit of time. We gave them a little bit of time. So whatever they have on their website right now is what they have. That's all. That's what it is. Thank you guys for watching. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna review each website. We're going to review each website, and actually I can show you guys the websites now. I can actually switch the scene since we're not really worried about the timer any longer. So let's look at the blue team's website. Hang on. That's not the blue team's website. There we go. Okay, so on the blue team's website, you can see, just ignore the timer, you know, just pretend it's not running. So we're going to run through the objectives and see what they've completed. So objective number 1 was to create a navigation bar with a smooth scroll to each section, to each page section. So this is the navigation bar right up here. So we're actually going to click like menu. Perfect. So it actually shot us down with the smooth scroll. We saw that and it looked good. It does look a bit bugged out here. I think it's because, yeah, it's because this background image, this hero, is it's higher on the Z index. So all they had to do was, you know, make sure that this had the navigation bar had a higher Z index on that to sit on top of everything. And let's make sure the location works as well. Yes, cool. So they get a point for that. So moderators, if you're on that mod panel, please you know, credit them for that. So first objective, blue team got it. Second objective, create a hero with a full viewport, background image, and a cycling word in the slogan. Let's see. So they do have a full width hero, which is the image here, and then you can see that the slogan is indeed rotating. So they got the point there. So whoever's on the mod panel, please update that. Okay, objective number 3, they need to create a section with a table of at least 10 items with a list of prices pulled from an array. So we did see earlier in the code that all this information was indeed being pulled from an array in JavaScript. So this information is not static in a sense that, you know, it's typed in to HTML. It's, you know, it's static as in, like, it's still static technically, but they did complete that objective, so they do get another point there. Alright, their fourth objective is they need to create a section with contact details and a map with a pin to its location. So right here, we do see that contact section. My roommate, we share the same Spotify account, so he tried listening to Spotify. Hopefully he doesn't try listening to it again. No, I'm not on the mod panel, so one of the moderators needs to be checking this off right now. Alright, the last objective is right here, you know, the contact details right here, and it looks like they have it with, as well as a map with the pin, so they get that as well. And the bonus objective right here is, so since they completed all 4 objectives, they qualify to get the bonus objective. So now the bonus objective is add a column in the product table, which is this, with a 20% discount applied next to the original prices. So check it out. These are the prices. So they got that. So they got all the objectives as well as the bonus objective. So for the blue team, they completed everything. They got all the objectives. So that should equal out to 6 points because each objective is worth 1 point and the bonus objective is worth 2. So blue has 6 points so far. Now let's take a look at red team. So I'm actually going to switch over to red now. This is red team's website. Ignore the timer. Ignore how the names aren't showing up at the top. Just excuse some of the bugs that are showing up with Firebase today. We'll get it all fixed out and squared out for next week. Okay, so this is red team's website. You know, unfortunately, they didn't know about the theme and stuff during the game, which is a bit of an unfortunate, but hopefully that doesn't discourage them from playing again in the future now that they know and have a better idea on what they're looking out for. Okay, so let's look at the first objective. Sorry guys, it's the pollen that's not pollen, but just all the... I bought a air purifier, so if you see me touching my nose a lot, I'm really trying not to. Navigation bar with smooth scroll to each page section is objective number 1. I do see a navigation bar up here. I mean, you can barely see it because it is, you know, in black, complete black. It's black text and a black background, and it's not even clickable, so they don't get the objective there. Second objective is to have a hero with a full viewport background image and a cycling word in the slogan. And they have that. They do, so they get a point for that. So 1 point for objective number 2. Oh, cool. Mod panel got updated. You guys can see, you know, what objectives they have completed as we're running through this. The third objective is a section with a table of at least 10 items with a list of prices pulled from an array. Okay, so we have this down here. I'm going to zoom in. It's all the way at the bottom here. Actually, you guys can't see because it's just at the bottom, but what I'll do is I'll edit the style so that we're extending the margin on the bottom of this website so that we can actually see that. Oh, actually, you guys can see it like this too. Okay. So let's see. Oh, it is white. Okay, I just had to refresh. Yeah, it looks like this is getting pulled from an array. Wow, they pulled that off. I'm actually pretty surprised. That's awesome. So they did complete that objective. You guys just saw that update. Section with contact details and a map. We don't see that. So unfortunately, you know, they don't get the point for that. And of course, since they didn't complete all 4 objectives, they don't get the bonus objective. All right, now we're gonna move on to the voting stage, where you guys are gonna be able to vote now in the chat on, you know, who has the best design. Tin, thanks for the follow. Okay, so go ahead and start the vote for design. So we're gonna start the vote. So in order to vote, all you have to do is type exclamation point red or exclamation point blue, as you guys can see up there. The instructions are there on the screen in case you forget. So which team has the best design? Is it blue or is it red? Trice, thanks for the follow. Just type blue or red in the chat, you know, with the exclamation point. You guys can see all the votes are being counted in real time. Once you place your votes, you cannot unplace it. Like that's a cool thing that we've added. If you guys, you know, played in season or watched in season 2, you would know that you know, you were able to change your votes. So we removed that feature because you guys trolled a lot when we had that. So yeah. So, and we also have it to where the votes on there, you see those lines in the center. If it actually goes past that line, they get 2 points, and if it's in between those lines, it's both team gets 1 point. But the most points you can earn in this vote section is 2 points. Dove, thanks for the follow. So you know, there's 2 minutes to vote. The timer, the bot is keeping track of how long the votes are going to be going on for. So yeah, 30 seconds left to vote. Get your votes in. All you have to do is type blue or red in the chat, and your vote will be accounted for. So which team has the best design? I'm going to show the website. So this is blue team's website, and this is red team's website. So we got blue, and we got red. Designer, thanks for the follow. Alright guys, voting's over. Blue got the majority vote, so blue did earn 2 points there. Now for functionality, the vote has already begun. Go ahead and vote for functionality. It's blue or red. Now what functionality means is which team has better, like, you know, JavaScript is definitely a big factor in this. So like the way I would suggest you guys vote for functionality is like how well the code works. Like, you know, user experience is a big thing. If you're actually on this website and using it, is anything broken? Is anything like not working? Now, as far as I can tell, Red Team, though they were having issues on their you know, with their website styles, their code is actually working. So I mean, like, they have a working carousel, which I think is pretty amazing that they're able to pull that off. So I mean, as far as, you know, code working, both teams' website works. So it's up to you how you guys you know, define functionality in your own minds. Nas HC, thanks for the follow. 30 seconds left to vote, guys. $20 seconds. Go ahead and place your votes. And it looks like the vote's over. Blue did win that again. And so Blue got majority vote. They got 2 points there, which means that Blue actually won. It's a huge accomplishment because Blue actually managed to complete every single objective, and they managed to accumulate as many points as they can on the votes. Bogardo, thanks for the follow. Alright guys, we're going to move on to this score page. So once this updates, you guys are going to be able to see what the total score was in the end. But that is the end of the game here. I do appreciate everybody who joined today on the show. I'm not here. I'm wondering if I just uncheck this box. Oh, there I am. Cool. So, yeah. So just wait for the score to be updated here. You guys are going to be able to see it. We'll just wait. But if you guys enjoyed the show, come back Saturday. There's the score. 10 points for Blue, 2 points for Red. You can see the total summary. Everything that you saw today is recorded, and you will be seeing it on YouTube.